iron ore is China. Another way, folks, of getting exposure to pickup of business in China by Vale. There we
Where
are.
you don't specifically take country risk insofar as where your equity's listed.
Vale Brazil tankers. Any thoughts on Vale and maybe Brazil more generally? On tankers, do you believe we're currently going through a period of volatility, seasonal bearishness, or is there anything that we should be concerned about? That's from Simon.
It's actually a good question, Simon. So let's go to Vale. We'll go to the next slide. Okay. So here's Vale. So it's a Brazilian, well, it used to be an integrated Brazilian, and now it's just more so well, essentially all it really is iron ore. You see there ferrous minerals. That's iron ore. 80% iron ore. Basic metals is base metal, so chucking a bit of copper and I guess a bit of lithium, whatever else, and there's a little bit of coal. Which reminds me, going back to a previous discussion about mergers and acquisitions, what have you, and unbundlings. Guess who's been unbundling last 12 or so months? You've got Anglos, BHP. These big companies are getting rid of the politically unacceptable coal assets. And
Glencore?
well, yeah, they've been doing something. Yeah, anyway, a good positive sign for coal. Back to Vale. So really, I guess it's a call on where you see the price of iron ore going. That's what it's all about. I think the next slide. Yeah, well, this is the price of iron ore, which is the yellow chart, and Vale's stock price, which is the white line. Pretty much, you see one, you see them all. So again, it's a call on what happens in China, particularly with steel production. But that being said, you go to the next slide. I wasn't really aware of this, so I'm glad that the subscribers brought this up. So we look at the fundamental metrics of Vale. So the actual PE now is 5. Okay, that's history. Dividend yield about 8%. But if we go to their forecast mean, so the blue column, okay, that's the forecasted. So analysts are going, okay, what do they think the iron ore price is going to be over the next 12 months? So what the earnings going to be and take the current price of Vale or stock price divided by the forecasted earnings per share, and you get the forward PE, which is only like 4.5 times. And even going out a few more years, it's the same. Let's say 5 times. And then if you look at what the dividend payout will be, probably like a forecasted yield of like 10%. So this is that's actually not expensive. That's cheap. Something for us to think about, Chris. Another one of those sectors which are really out of favor, iron ore. But then this is very, very related to China, which we'll talk about later on, which has been out of favor and loved and wanted. I mean, iron ore is China. So another way, folks, of getting exposure to a pickup of business in China by Vale. There we are.
Where you don't specifically take country risk insofar as where your equity's listed. In other words, the situation we had with Russian equities, which were frozen, you wouldn't have with Vale.